Thought Talk with Rev Steve is sponsoring this special Soulshine Sunday with Rev Steve and friends. Welcome to the show, and to open us up is Mr. Peter Mordike and some music.
Let's sing about a wonderful world, the beauty of the earth and the sky, the wonders of the universe, or the taste of a fresh baked pie. Oh, for God's sake, heaven above, let's just sing about love. Let's sing about love. Let's sing about love. Let's sing about the joy we feel in the warmth of a fond embrace, the twinkle in an old man's eye that can light up a wrinkled face. Oh, for God's sake, heaven above, let's just sing about love. Let's sing about love. Let's sing about love. Well, you don't want to sit and grumble if you're feeling out of place. Your world's not gonna crumble if you put a smile upon your face. Let's sing about peace and forgiveness so we don't have to live in fear. How about the freedom we cherish, something that we hold so dear? Oh, for God's sake, heaven above, let's just sing about love. Let's sing about love. Let's sing about love. Oh, love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Let's sing about love.
Thank you, Peter. I want to welcome you all here this Sunday. This is a new experience for us. I want to welcome you to the show. This has evolved out of New Thought Talk with Rev Steve, but we've decided to take it and make it a Sunday experience for all of our viewers and for people that have been asking about, well, what is it exactly that we do with Science of Mind New Thought on a Sunday? So welcome aboard, and we're going to go ahead and get started. First, I want to give you a little bit of a background for people that are new to what we call New Thought, religious science. It is a spiritual philosophy that evolved over many years, but most particularly came of prominence in the mid-1800s. It's evolved in the late 30s. Ernest Holmes created an organization called Religious Science, Science of Mind. And from that to today, we have Science of Mind churches, we have unity churches, we have many different churches around the world that teach this philosophy. And what is this philosophy? Basically, it's very simple. We believe that there is one divine being that we call God, that it is everywhere present, that there's nowhere that you can go where God is not, and that man has access to God always, because with God being everywhere present, God is also within us, and we can utilize that connection. As a matter of fact, not only can we utilize it, we can see how it plays out in our life, and we can, if we and when we get to that point of understanding, we can create a life of our own at our own level of understanding, experience joy, peace, and harmony. If we're not experiencing those things in our life, we got to ask ourselves, why not? You see, we teach that there is a presence and a power for good in the universe that is available to each and every one of us when we learn how to make ourselves available to it. It's a very simplistic process, but it's a process that requires a commitment, it requires time, and it requires personally being responsible for the who and the what we are as we go through our daily lives. It requires us keeping tabs on how we think, on where we go in our mind, what trend of thought do we allow ourselves to experience. If we are that kind of person that tends to always be kind of grumbly, under the weather, It's no surprise that our life experience is kind of grumbly and under the weather. And how many people do we know that have experienced life in a positive, upbeat sort of way, and when you get around them, just being around that person is positive and uplifting, and it's energy. You go, how do they do that? And why can't I do that? But you can do that. And the thing is, everything that you believe right now, you did not believe at one time. And everything that you experience in your life as you go through your daily life is a part of some habitual habit based on your personal beliefs. Now, some of those beliefs we hold, they are at a conscious level that we're very familiar with, but some of them that we hold are at a subconscious level that maybe we're just not quite aware that they're there. Things that were implanted in us, if you will, when Uncle Harry told you when you were just about this big that you weren't good enough for something, and maybe that stuck in the back of your mind. Now, he didn't mean anything by it. It wasn't serious. But for a 5-year-old little person, it might have been very serious. It may have been something that stayed there, and as they grew into an adult and they're going through and they're beginning to address some of those issues in their life, Uncle Harry's words are there, and they hold us back and they limit us. And so I'm going to read something to you from the Science of Mind book regarding this particular thing. And it goes something like this. The world has learned all it should through suffering. The Science of Mind and Spirit makes a tremendous claim when it states that the individual should be free from the bondage of sickness, poverty, and unhappiness. It does, however, carefully set forth the conditions under which this freedom operates and the laws governing life, stating in no uncertain terms that unless man understands these conditions and obeys these laws, spiritual laws and spiritual principles, he will not receive the full benefit from its teachings. The world is beginning to realize that it has learned all it should through suffering and pain. Surely there can be no intelligence in the universe, and we're talking about divine intelligence, that which we call God. No intelligence in the universe that wishes man to be sick, suffer pain, or be unhappy, and end in oblivion. Surely if God or universal intelligence is imbued with goodness, then it could not ordain that man should ultimately be other than a perfect expression of life. A perfect expression of life, and yet we look around ourselves today and we go, how many of us are not that perfect expression of life? How many of us have a life that's kind of up and it's kind of down and it's, back and forth? We go, well, just what is this that we're talking about when we say that you can expect to have a life of harmony, abundance, peace, good health, when the world tells us something different? The reason being is most of us grew up in an environment that told us that you're going to get colds, that you're going to get sick, that you're going to have to struggle in life. All you have to do is pick up the evening newspaper or listen to evening news, and it's going to tell you all the bad things that are going on in the world. And where do you think that goes when you tune into that? Do you think it goes in this ear, it goes out this ear, and it's just gone? It may go in this ear, but somewhere it gets caught in the middle. And it stays there. And it plays an influential role in your life. The decisions you make. All you have to do is think about the last time you were going to do something and you recall that there was something you heard on the news that said, maybe if you were to do this, it might be bad timing. So you put your money back in your pocket, or you decide not to go to that place, or you decide not to have that picnic or whatever, because you have been limited by what you heard in the news. This happens in every area of our life. We don't have to be that way. We don't have to experience life at that level. We're going to take a break here in a minute, and when we come back, I'm going to open up with the lesson for today, and we're going to talk about this thing called life, our relationship to it, basically how to focus our life in such a way that we can experience the good that we were entitled to and why we can experience that good. So, I'm going to give it away to Bill to take us to our first commercial break, and we'll see you. Peter's going to open up with some music when we come back. Bill, if you would, please.
The Exeter Chamber of Commerce invites you to come on over to the beautiful city of Exeter. To learn more about Exeter, visit exeterchamber.com.
Looking for work? Tired of minimum wage? For as low as $200, become certified as a forklift driver at the Certified Forklift Training Center. Call 559-325-8097 or visit cftc.net.
Full Circle Brewing Company, Fresno's unique craft brewery and eclectic entertainment venue.
Family Options provides services to adults with developmental disabilities. Be part of the family and experience caring results and excellence. Call 559-275-2323. For all your life insurance needs, Central Valley Talk recommends our good friend Clint Cartridge. Give Clint a call at 559-478-0425.
Low testosterone affects most men. Dr. Kevin Lester discusses a testosterone optimization program.
The top program is a testosterone optimization program designed to improve men's health and well-being. Men's testosterone, which diminishes gradually from the time they're about 30 or 35 to about the time they die, which is hopefully 86, 87, they gradually have less and less testosterone. Your belly becomes fatter, your blood vessels become worse, you become out of shape, you get grouchy. Come in for a free measurement, and then it's almost always insured. Almost all insurance companies cover it, including Medicare. It's free to come in for the first consultation. After that, even if you're a cash patient, it's $140 a month.
Find out more about the testosterone optimization program by visiting tophatmed.com or calling 559-431-2332. Mike Briggs Properties sells homes in the Tower District and throughout Fresno and the Valley. Did you know we also sell businesses? Why work to build someone else's business when you could build your own? The small businesses we have for sale include restaurants, professional practices, and you can even own your own TV show. This week's featured businesses include an established Pizza by the Slice business in the heart of the Tower District, and also available a laundromat in Van Ness Village. If you are interested in owning a business, call Mike Briggs Properties at 486-6758 and ask for details.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Imagining the sunlight as it sparkles in your eyes, I can feel your warmth under winter's cloudy skies. I can feel the breeze as it whispers in my ear, bringing me such comfort, I relinquish all my fear. God is in me, God is in you, God is in me, God is in you, God is everywhere. I won't let your sadness infiltrate my heart. Negativity won't tear my world apart. I have seen the beauty nature has bestowed as I've traveled down this long and bumpy road. God is in me, God is in you, God is in me, God is in you, God is everywhere. Now there are still majestic mountains I will never climb, deep poetic lines I will never rhyme, but I will let my spirit fly up in the sky, even though there may be tears I have to cry. God is in me, God is in you, God is in me, God is in you, God is in me, God is in you. God is in me. God is in you. God is everywhere.
Thank you, Peter. Imagine, if you will, that you have the power to get up in the morning and determine how your day is going to go. Imagine, if you will, that you have the ability to see a level of abundance in your life that allows you to be, do, and have anything that you would like to be, do, or have. Imagine, if you will, a life where health was not an issue, where you lived continuously in a healthful way, and should life be, for some reason, disrupted by some minor health issue, that it is quickly taken care of, and you move on with your life. Am I describing something that is maybe out of a novel or something that's kind of fanciful? I don't believe so. I believe I'm describing a type of life that each and every one of us were put on this earth to live. There is a God, there is that which we call God, that's not the guy that walks through the garden. As a matter of fact, God doesn't walk at all. As a matter of fact, God is so beyond our ability to even understand what it is. We refer to God by many different names: source, universal intelligence. Sometimes we refer to it as it, with a capital I, of course. But it's still God, and it's everywhere present, and it's available to us. If, like I said in the first segment, we understand that we have the capability of making it available to us. And that's where the rub is. We don't come with a handbook to higher consciousness that tells us how we can go about our lives, how we can unfold things. What we have to do is we have to go through our life, and we have to learn. And we learn lessons, and we learn various lessons. And one of the first lessons we learn is there are such things as laws. You know, there's laws, of course. If we live in a society, there's laws that society has. If we drive, there's speed limit laws, there's various traffic laws. But there's also universal or natural laws. The law of gravity, for example. And if you don't think that the law of gravity works for everybody, try stepping off a 10-foot building and see what happens before you hit the ground. The law's going to work. And the law's going to hold you accountable for failing to follow the principles of the law. But there's laws that affect us in our lives. There's laws that affect how we can experience lives, because there is a law that responds to our thought. And so, as we go through this morning, I want you to understand, you carry with you throughout your day a trend of thought. It's there, it's below the level. As a matter of fact, have you ever walked down the street, or you've been somewhere, and all of a sudden you catch yourself back in your mind talking to yourself? You weren't even aware that little conversation was going on, and all of a sudden, there it is. You know, that shopping list I didn't take care of, or that person I got to connect with, or whatever. And you go, well, I wasn't even aware that was there. There is something that's going on within you that is deeper than your conscious awareness, but it's something that you can train. It's something that you can utilize, and it's something that has an immense power in creating your life experience. It's at what we call a subjective level, or a subconscious level. And when we begin to tune into that and learn how to influence that, learn how to work that in our lives, we can begin to create a better life for ourselves. And it starts with the first realization that we have power. And that power comes with the realization that we have the ability to make choices. We always make choices. We go through our days without thinking about the choices we make. But how many of those choices are choices that are beneficial for us? And how many of those choices are choices that may actually inhibit us or limit us in our lives? If your choice goes something to the effect that I'm not good enough for this, I don't have enough money for that, I can't do this, what are the seeds that you're planting in the garden of your mind that are going to give the crop of less than this lack in your life, maybe dis-ease, discomfort? You can plant different seeds. You can begin to plant seeds that will empower you. when you take the time to do it. But just like planting seeds, you can't just throw them out there and walk away. You got to nurture them. You got to watch them, water them, see that they grow, and then when they come to fruition, you got to be able to harvest them. That's what we teach when we teach this philosophy that we call science of mind. That there is a power and a presence for good that's available to you when you avail yourself to it, but you have to do that. And you have to participate. You know, oftentimes in many different religious organizations, you show up on Sunday, you do your due diligence, and you go home, and you're good for the week. Sometimes some people may pray a little bit here or there, hope that there's going to be an answer to their prayer, hope that maybe God will be listening to them, and then they show up next Sunday and they go through the process all over again. What about if you lived your life continuously, as if God continuously is expressing through you, if God hears everything that you think, and if God really does, in fact, answer your prayers when you pray in such a way that God will answer your prayers in an affirmative way? If God is ever present, then God hears every thought that goes through our minds. If God hears every thought that goes through our minds, what am I telling God? Am I telling God that I'm not good enough? Am I telling God I'm not tall enough? Or am I telling God that, my gosh, I am grateful for today. I'm grateful for the good that I got. In kind, there is a presence that will respond to those kind of thoughts. That's why, as I said earlier, when you have someone that has that incredibly up attitude and you see them go on through their life, it's almost magical. In truth, it's not. It's just God doing what God does, unfolding in our lives, responding and reacting to that which goes on in our minds. If we are created in the likeness and the image of God and the nature of God, what part of God are we going to limit ourselves from? God is creative. God is nurturing. God is love. And you say, well, that's fine, but what about all the negative stuff that we experience? Well, we do experience it, and it's real to those that experience it. But it comes about as we separate within our mind our beingness, our consciousness, from the divine presence that's there. That when we want to experience good, we have to refocus within our mind to bring ourselves in alignment with that good. And there's a way that you can do that. And it's done principally in our imagination. I'm going to give you a little tool that you can use. And it's amazing how effective this tool is. In our imagination, in that part of our mind, we can create things. The more we create things with a definiteness of purpose, the more that we review that in mind, the more that we begin to embody the endpoint of what it is that we've created in our imagination as already being so, there is a part of our mind, that subjective part of our mind, that will respond. It's like when we speak our word, when we're doing our prayer work, and we speak our word and we speak it with a definiteness of purpose, with an expectation that there is going to be a manifestation and a demonstration. And if we see something less than what we have purposed, it's not that God has fallen short, it's that we need to bring ourselves back into alignment with our principle. If you want something because you want it, or you want something because you can feel that desire with every bit of your livingness, it's going to make a difference. You know, we have wants because we see them in the newspaper. Oh, I want that, and I want this, and I want that. Or we have something that we want, and we want it so bad that we can feel it. It's getting it in that level in our imagination. And we hold it there. And we use our willpower to refocus. Every time our mind begins to wander away from that, we bring it back. We bring it back to the imagination. We bring it back to the experience. We bring it back to that focal point, to where in mind we are speaking to the divine spirit that is within us. And it all takes place within us. There's nothing outside of us that can do for us what we can do for ourselves within ourselves. But we gotta go there. And that's the deal with religious science. That's the deal with what it is that we're doing. That's our purpose as we move forward. We got to move forward into a level of belief. You know, there was a fellow years ago that said, as you believe, so it will be done unto you. And he wasn't making a joke out of it. He didn't say it in passing. As a matter of fact, it's said again and again through many different spiritual teachings. As you believe, it will be done unto you. And on that note, I've got to cut away because it's time for a commercial break, and we'll pick it up when we come back.
This segment brought to you by Tioga Sequoia Brewery. Central Valley Talk is fueled by Tioga Sequoia Brewery in downtown Fresno.
Sunshine Natural Health in Tulare, California is your source for nature's best remedies. Call Sunshine Natural Health at 559-688-2063 and get healthy. There's a better way to optimize productivity and quality of life at work. Call High Point Consulting today and harness the power of your vision. Create your better way at highpointconsulting.net.
Foundations School of Discipleship educates young people in the knowledge of God and in understanding His ways. We instruct students in a balance of personal discipleship, academics, and hands-on ministry training. Foundations School of Discipleship. Need raisins? Call National Raisin Company at 559-834-5981 or online at nationalraisin.com. Maintain your independence with the caring support of an entire community at Cedar Creek Senior Living. For more information, call 559-673-2345.
Come help heal mind, spirit, and body. Treat yourself to the healing experience of Reiki. Classes available. My job depends on ag. Does yours? Join the Facebook group with over 35,000 members whose jobs depend on ag every day. My job depends on ag.
Century 21 agent Julie Gherkin comes from a family with over 50 years experience in real estate. If you're looking for a home or a property in Oakhurst, Bass Lake, or Mariposa County, call Julie Gherkin with Century 21, 559-641-2827.
Contact Maria or Daniel at Rustic Pallets for your customized tile and woodwork. Visit www.rusticpallets.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Welcome back. As we open up this segment, I've got Ted Nunes going to do a song for us, and then I'll be back.
I will walk, I will stumble, I'll be graceful when I can. When I talk, I'm known to mumble. Maybe I should learn to speak with my hands. I've got wings, but I can't carry. But I can surely show you the way. Tuck your wings, dive down to me. I'll be your shield, baby, come what may. Oh, until the walls come down. Oh, until the walls come down, you're gone. Oh, until the walls come down. Oh, until the walls come down, you're home, home, home. Oh, oh. Yeah, you're home. It won't be smooth sailing. There'll be lightning in the sky, flashing lights, screaming danger. If you have to cover one eye. Oh,
until the walls come down. Oh, until the walls come down, you're home. Oh, until the walls come down. Oh, until the walls come down, you're home. Home, home, home. Yeah, you're home.
Thank you, Ted. Got some good music here today. Anyway, as I was saying when we went to break, your imagination is that tool that you can use, that you can go there, and in the imagination you can create the way, and the reason why this works is because as the imagination feeds into the subjective or subconscious mind, the subconscious mind can't tell whether it's real or whether it's not real. And as we begin to impress that into our mind, and it begins to accept it as being real, that's when the law takes over, the law begins to respond. That's when our lives begin to change. Because at that point, when there is that embodiment of that belief, things begin to unfold. It was I believe it was Thoreau who said that once we have made a decision to do something, that the universe opens all doors to make that happen. And that is the process that this works through. I want to share a story with you. It's an old story, and you may have heard it, but to give you an idea of the power of this type of philosophy, there was a man, and this was many years ago, his name was George Mueller. And George Mueller had he had an orphanage, and it was in England, and it wasn't a real prosperous organization at the time. They were struggling, as you can imagine things were way back in the day. And one day, George, his head staff person, came to him and said, Mr. Mueller, we have 300 orphans here, and we don't have food to feed them the meal. And this was like right before the lunch meal. And George told his head staff person, he says, I want you to have the children dressed and have them in the luncheon hall. The meal will be served. And he said, but Mr. Mueller, he said, do as I asked. The children were dressed. They were taken into the hall, and right on the dot as lunch hour happened, there's a knock at the door. And as the door is opened, there's a town baker. And he said, Mr. Mueller, he said, I know that you have many children here. And he said, I felt sorry for you, so I baked up a bunch of loaves of bread for you. And he brought them in, and the bread was served to the children. And after that, there were several other individuals from the town, and not a single one of them were contacted. Not one of them was spoken to and said, we need food. And Mueller was asked about it afterwards. He said, I just went to God and said, God, I believe. I believe that you will do this with all the faith that I have. Throughout the rest of the career, and it's worth looking up, you can find it through Google, George Mueller and his story. He ran this organization, created much more as a result of living his life that way. We each can do that. There's story after story within the religious science movement of individuals that have been healed from so-called life-threatening diseases or have experienced a rather quick uplift of abundance at the moment in time when they've needed money to change their life from worse to better. It's done when we believe in the being, the divine presence that is all that we call God. When we believe that God is all, when we believe that God is not only substance but source, then we will see that unfold in our lives. I have to share with you, this is my first experience doing this on camera, so I'm getting a little direction. We're going to work this out. Over the time, we're going to have a really smooth operation and make it grow and go better. So hang in there with us as we go through our rough spots, because there's so much more over the period of time that we're going to share with you. And it is in my heart that you take what it is that we teach here and you apply it. You don't have to believe me. I'm not asking you to believe me. I'm not asking you to give up your personal beliefs. What I'm asking you to do is, as you watch these shows, and if you happen to catch New Thought Talk on Saturday with Rev Steve, or as it replays during the week, that you take these tools and you put them into practice in your life and see if it doesn't unfold. There is a quote in the book of Malachi, the last book of the Old Testament, where God says, "Put me to the test and see if I won't open up the storehouses of heaven." And that is what I'm saying. Put God to the test. God is in you. God as you. God loves you. God is love. God expresses as love through each and every one of you. And why would a loving Father turn his or her back on that which it created? Why would a loving Father put you out there and fail to give you the good that can provide for you if that loving Father has everything at its beck and call to provide for you? This is the question that you must ask yourself. And the answer, I believe, is in the affirmative. That loving Father, that loving Mother, that loving spiritual essence, whatever it is, as we have been created in the image and the likeness of that, we have also been created in the nature of that to experience the good that it is. We open our hearts up to it. We open our minds up to it. We make that connection and we see it expressed in our lives. For some people, when you're going through hard times, when things hurt a little bit, it's hard sometimes to see beyond that hurt and pain. It's hard to get past whether it's a disease or a financial or a relationship type of situation, to see that there's a better other side out there. But you can do that. You may have to work at it. Maybe you have to go to someone that can do their prayer work for you to help you through it. But you can get there. God created you to experience and express life goodly, happily, harmoniously. And you can do that. Sometimes it just takes making that choice to do it. And you make that first choice, doors will open. In a universe that is full of a divine, loving intelligence, why do we choose unhappiness when we don't have to? But we have to take responsibility for ourselves. And that's the one big bug in the ointment, if you will, in this particular philosophy. Being happy is not an outside job. Being happy is an inside job. Being connected spiritually is nothing that some priest or some minister can do for you. It's what you have to do for yourself. And you do it by daily practice. And it's not hard. It's not complicated. It's not very esoteric. It's pretty simple. It's finding a quiet space in the morning when you first start the day, quieting your thoughts, opening your heart up, maybe doing a little affirmative treatment, saying some affirmations. Welcome the day. Go through the day. And as you close off the day, don't close off the day by recounting all the unhappy things that happened to you today. Close off the day in gratitude for the good that you've experienced. Even if the day seemed to have gone all the way down the drain, so to speak, there's some good to be found if you look for it. Find something to be grateful for. Make sure that's what you carry into your sleep when you go to bed at night. Don't take hatred, fear, anger, all those things to bed so that it can journey with you through your sleep, to be there for you in the morning, to help sabotage your day. Take love to bed with you. Take God's goodness to bed with you. So that when you get up in the morning, when you open your eyes, that very first thing, this is something that I do, very first thing. Well, at my age, actually, that I can open my eyes is always a good thing. But beyond that, the first thing I do once I get my eyes open is I'm thankful for the day. Before I'm even aware of what that list of things are that I've got to do today, whatever challenges I've got, the first thing I do is recognize my gratitude for today. And that sets my foundation for whatever else happens. And you too can do the same. We're going to close off this segment. This will be the last of my teaching for this week. We'll see you back here in 4 weeks on this. I've got some music for this very final segment and then a closing statement that I want to make. So we're going to cut away, and I think Ted will open up when we come back, and I may have Peter come back after him, and maybe Ted and Peter, and we'll just see what happens. All right, we're gone.
Letty Pingatori focuses on the unique needs of each client. Call Letty if you need a realtor in the Central California area. Looking outside the SoCal area, Letty will refer you to the best Keller Williams agent nearest you. Letty Pingatori, Realtor Extraordinaire.
Mike Briggs Properties sells homes in the Tower District and throughout Fresno and the Valley. Did you know we also sell businesses? Why work to build someone else's business when you could build your own? The small businesses we have for sale include restaurants, professional practices, and you can even own your own TV show. This week's featured businesses include an established Pizza by the Slice business in the heart of the Tower District, and also available a laundromat in Van Ness Village. If you are interested in owning a business, call Mike Briggs Properties at 486-6758 and ask for details.
Here at Central Valley Talk, we've chosen Select Business Systems to provide for our copy, print, and scanning needs. We used to think it was cheaper to purchase our own toner and maintain our own office equipment. But now, with the expertise and experience of Select Business Systems, our office workflow is running at peak performance, saving our company time and money. They've truly set us up with our new sharp multifunction copier, streamlining our office with the press of a button. To find out how you can improve your office technology, call Select Business Systems at 446-0123 or visit their website at selectsharp.com.
No matter what you drive, sooner or later you're going to need tires. That means you. It's Wheel King, your custom wheel and tire headquarters for over 20 years. Hundreds of custom wheels and tires in stock all the time. Shocks, brake jobs, alignments, and lowering done the right way. The King has got you covered.
Inside the wheel, see the King. No one else can get attention.
Call 225-KING. Blackstone, just off the Shaw. It's Wheel King.
Ruth Medlin, trainer, facilitator, and coach, will help your employees get better at what they do. For more information, go to ruthmedlin.com.
CentralValleyTalk.com.
Well, it's time to take one ride, yes, a little one's trip to the sunny side of one stay. You know you can't go wrong. So push aside in that old freight train just to walk on by, even though the lights of refrain seem to yell for all the past goodbyes. So if you want that old brass ring, you gotta go and now make it go. You don't think twice about what you need, just go and do what you know. A broke down ship set sail at dawn. Well, the sea was icy, but the waves will calm, my friends. Another day is gone. And blinded by the shine of night, well, I could not see the past standing in my light. I said, friend, won't you step aside? If you want that old brass ring, you gotta go and now make it gold. You don't think twice about what you need, just go and do what you know. Of opportunity left behind when you found one word you left behind, you shed one tear. I said, no, please don't cry. For it ain't no test, no pass, no fail. It's an educated guess, for only time will tell. Until then, here's some words of advice. 'Cause if you want that old brass ring, you gotta go and now make it gold. You don't think twice about what you need, just go and do what you know. See, if you want that old brass ring, you gotta go and now make it gold. And don't think twice about what you need, just go and do what you know. Just go and do what you know.
Is this dead time we on now?
Go ahead, buddy.
Okay. I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and a hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my hands, lose my power, lose my lands, if I ever lose my hands, oh, I won't have to work no more. I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and a hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my eyes, all my colors all run dry. And if I ever lose my eyes, whoa, 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 I won't have to cry no more. And did it take long to find me? I asked the faithful light. Did it take long to find me? And are you gonna spend the night? I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and a hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. And if I ever lose my mouth, all my teeth, north and south, if I ever lose my mouth, whoa, I won't have to talk no more. And did it take long to find me? I asked the faithful light. And did it take long to find me? And are you gonna spend the night? I'm being followed by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Leaping and a hopping on a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow.
Peter Mordyke and Ted Nunez, thank you for providing music for us today. Gosh, it's great. You know, I'm here in this room in the studio with some close friends, and I want to thank everybody for being here, providing the love and the energy for this show. It was an experiment that I'm glad that we decided to take, and I know that we're going to move forward, and it's going to be something even better and greater as we move along. And for you out there, as you watch this, take to heart the things that I said, please, and put them to work in your life. And see that you won't, or see that you will, have changes. And if you would like to get a hold of me sometime, you can reach out to the Madera Church of Religious Science, known as the Spiritual Awareness Center. We're at 218 South D Street in Madera, and our phone number is 661-1948. And our webpage is maderasaac.com, www. I believe the information is on the screen there. And if you would like, you can also, there's a place there where you can make a donation to help support us as we continue to grow our ministry. This is a movement. In a time in the world where people are suffering, where there's war, where there's starvation, where there's things going on, that in this time and place you ask yourself, why? Why is it going on today? We have the ability and the capability to put an end to terrible things, to create greater good in our life and in the world. As you empower yourself, whatever your personal faith is, as you empower yourself, as you make your connection with that which we call God, you help make a better world. Open your heart up in love and acceptance. Allow people to be who and what they are, to live their lives in harmony with each other, that we all, as one, can see a better life and a better world. I am thankful and grateful for being here today. And I'm going to take this moment to close out in a little bit of a prayer. We'll all settle in. Realizing that there is a power and a presence for good in the universe that we call God, that is available to each and every one of us. Realizing that we are divine perfection expressed as individuals. Realizing that there is a greater truth than that which most of us are aware. And realizing that God, in all of God's goodness and lovingness, is with us as we live and breathe continuously. That the light of God surrounds us completely. That the love of God enfolds us entirely, and the power of God protects us. Because truly, no matter where we go, God is, and all is well. Blessings, my friend. Thank you. Make it a great week, and goodbye. Thank you.
The Exeter Chamber of Commerce invites you to come on over to the beautiful city of Exeter. To learn more about Exeter, visit exeterchamber.com.
Looking for work? Tired of minimum wage? For as low as $200, become certified as a forklift driver at the Certified Forklift Training Center. Call 559-325-8097 or visit cftc.net.
Full Circle Brewing Company, Fresno's unique craft brewery and eclectic entertainment venue.
Family Options provides services to adults with developmental disabilities. Be part of the family and experience caring results and excellence. Call 559-275-2323.